Hello, greetings everyone. John Akuro here, and you're welcome to the JMA Connections. Today is Monday, and this Monday is the 3rd of November 2025. And I'm delighted to be here again with some more updates on what is going on in La République du Cameroon. Of course, you are definitely aware that my penchant, my focus usually is the southern Cameroons, and when I come with updates from the Republic of Cameroon, I really want my people of the southern Cameroons, my people of Ambazonia, to get a better grasp of what is going on in the Republic of Cameroon, so people know how to be safe. People who are still in the hinterlands and in the town cities and other urban areas of the Republic of Cameroon. And so yesterday in my late evening broadcast, I indicated that there was some piece of information very sensitive that I had received, and that I was still checking and cross-checking with other people who could be involved in the chain and who could have knowledge of exactly what is going on. And so finally it turns out that piece of information is really verified. And so that is what I'm coming here for us to talk about today. I know the times in Yaoundé and other major centers of the Republic of Cameroon are very critical right now, very complicated right now. There's growing suspicions in, all circles. Yesterday, I talked about the military circles. I talked about what was going on among the top military officials in that country. And of course, this Monday, we observed that. They didn't succeed in capturing Issa Chiruma Bakari, and because they did not succeed in capturing Issa Chiruma Bakari, they are still, locked in some kind of a turmoil. And the Ghost Town's call by Issa Chiruma Bakari appears to have, succeeded largely in a lot of cities across the country, and even in some parts of Yaoundé, the capital city of the Republic of Cameroon, surprisingly enough. And of course, we have seen administrative officials, governors, SDOs, DOs, mayors, and even some parliamentarians going around trying to plead with the people using both the carrot and the stick approach. In some places, threatening; in others, pleading; and in yet others, both pleading and threatening, with having to seal shops and all of those. There are some hot areas like in Banyo, where we saw, a senior divisional officer given a good slap, a real slap on the jaw. We also saw scenes where the police, the gendarmes, and the soldiers present were outnumbered, and they had to run for their dear lives. And so this is a clear indication that when the people rise, and when the people rise in unison, and in very big numbers, they're always going to make life very difficult for the people. So that said, I will definitely get back to what the updates regarding the ghost towns and all of that really did entail. I'll be looking out more on this Tuesday to see exactly what happens. But what brings me here right now is something even more critical than all of this. What is more critical than all of this is that while people are looking at the outside of the government as being the areas where Issa Chiruma Bakari and those who are vying to get Mr. Paul Biya and his 43-year rule out of the place, where they are making serious inroads and causing more trouble, is not from the outside. Unfortunately, for Mr. Paul Biya's system, it's from the inside. And from the inside, the tension is getting to that place where he may soon break into, open confrontation among people that no one suspected could really confront each other. I want to take this opportunity to remind all and sundry. Always note that just as Paul Biya has excelled in divide and rule by making sure in every village community, even those who call themselves elite never agree, in making sure even within the military there's not an agreement. That's why you have several arms of the military. You have the army, you have the presidential guard, and the army is treated differently from the presidential guard. Those who are in the presidential guard are paid far better than those who are in the regular army. And so usually moving from the army into the presidential guard has always come across as some kind of a promotion, because that meant that you're going to have better pay, that meant that you are going to have more allowances, and that meant that you could have a lot more movements, a lot more training, training missions out of the country and the likes. And then on top of that came and was added the B, what they call the Rapid Intervention Battalion. And the Rapid Intervention Battalion operates almost like a corporation. You know how corporations operate in Cameroon. You know, in Cameroon, there are two payment regimes. When I was working in Cameroon, I worked with CRTV. And at CRTV, as a journalist, what I had as pay had no relationship with what I had as pay when I was at the Ministry of Communication. So you see, the same people trained from the same school come out with the same qualification, and you're even doing likely the same job, but you are worlds apart. While the people who are at the ministry could be on about 150, 145,000, at CITV you are beginning maybe at 300 and something thousand a month. And before you know it, sometimes you're catapulted at 700,000, while those who are in the public service will never go beyond 300,000. And so you see, it creates this kind of words, and it always keeps people at pals. So that is the kind of situation they have in the army, with those who are in the regular army, those who are presidential guard, then those who are those who are in the B. And now, beside the B, came and added yet another force known as the Special Forces. The Special Forces are now an improvement on top of the B. Now, by creating all these different forces and making sure the regime of privileges is different, Pobia makes it in such a way that it is difficult for the army to quickly agree to overthrow him. That is how he had functioned. But now the suspicions in the ranks has reached a level where this same kind of division, which sounded yesterday, which looked yesterday like a blessing that could help him stay longer in power and boast very easily that ne dure pas au pouvoir qui veut, mais Dieu qui peut, has reached a point now where it would begin, demonstrating its limitations. And those limitations are already visible. Because when you hear Issa Chiruma Bakari talk about loyalist forces, that are forces from the same army run by Mr. Paul Biya, you understand that every measure has a limit. Any elastic has a limit. It gets to a limit. So that is where we are. So right now, while the top military brass were being spied upon, I was told that, but I did not get the exact nature of the system that was being used. And so that is the second aspect of the information I received yesterday. But this one concerned more the government ministers, because at the same time Issa Chiruma Bakari had insisted also that there are a good fraction of government ministers who in the day are singing Paul Biya, Paul Biya, Paul Biya, are defending Paul Biya, are claiming a Biya victory, but in the night are urging him on, are telling him not to move an inch, are telling him not to compromise, are reminding him that the future and the change of the country was in his hands, because a lot of them also feel trapped. So this thing has worried Etudi so badly that Ferdinand Gongo decided to do what no one in that government can suspect right until this moment I'm bringing out this information that it could do. So Ferdinand Gongo and a very reduced circle of individuals have decided now to try and identify which members of government in the current Biya government are supporting Issa Chiruma Bakari. He has decided to identify which members of government are singing Paul Biya in the day and in the night are on phone with Issa Chiruma Bakari, or sending funds to Issa Chiruma Bakari, or sending people or mobilizing the people who could be loyal to them in the various branches of the armed forces to support Issa Chiruma Bakari. Because in the mind of the people, or in the minds of the people at Etudi, they don't believe that Issa Chiruma Bakari could be this strong, this extraordinary, that it's difficult for him to be arrested, to be captured, just like they have done previously. And so therefore, Ngongo and his very reduced circle have convinced themselves that almost half of the government are for Issa Chiruma Bakari. And so, to demystify, to make sure to get out of this mystery, they have put in billions, billions of CFA to buy a spy system, a surveillance system that defeats even your own imagination. So all the ministers currently in the current Biya government are now living virtually outside. They may think that they have secrets, they no longer have any secrets. They may think that what happened to them previously was that they were just listening to them on their phones. No, Gongo has gone past the era of just listening to their calls, because that came up at some point that they are tapping your calls, so they have most of them have software and all on their phone to test to see if somebody is listening to your conversation, if somebody is checking in. This is far beyond that. My sources indicate that Ferdinand Gongo has put in billions and acquired a spy system, a spyware known as the Pegasus, spy software. Pegasus is a spyware, very strong spyware. Ferdinand Gongo has bought Pegasus. They now have access to the Pegasus spyware. And this Pegasus spyware, they already have over 3/4 of the ministers of Cameroon under thorough surveillance. So Ferdinand Gongo and his reduced group now spend the whole day and the whole night monitoring the communications of the current ministers in Biya's current government in real time. Before he goes to sleep, he knows which minister has exchanged with, what they discussed, what plans they have, and he also has an idea which minister is beginning to think that it could be time to jump ship. The Pegasus spyware arrived in Cameroon, started being used in Cameroon approximately 7 days ago. That is what my sources tell me. That approximately 7 days ago, that was acquired, and they were in the testing phase, but now they are trying to make sure all the communication gadgets of all the ministers and those ranking as such right down to secretaries general in the ministries are under thorough surveillance. You want to know what the Pegasus spyware is? I'm sure you can go up now, Google it. Pegasus is Pegasus. Pegasus. It's called the Pegasus spyware. And so, yes, I'm having some updates here just coming in. Okay, yes, so this is, it's just giving me greater information to just flow in from the source. It says Pegasus, like I was saying, this Pegasus spyware is a highly sophisticated spyware developed by the Israeli cyber arms company known as NSO Group. And it is designed to covertly infiltrate smartphones, that is both iOS and Android. So even if you are using what you call iPhone, don't think that you are safe. And access virtually all data. You access virtually all data and functions on the device without the user's knowledge. Did you hear that? All data and functions on the device without the user knowing. So, how does it function? Once installed, Pegasus provides its operator with comprehensive surveillance capabilities, that's effectively turning your phone into a 24/7 monitoring device. So once Pegasus is installed, they have access to your phone 24/7, which means 24 hours a day, 7 days on 7. So which means what happens here is they actually take over control of your phone. They don't stop you from using it. They don't disturb your ability to use it. You don't even know that anything has been installed. You can have any antivirus installed on your phone. They will never detect Pegasus. Trust me on that. You can do the research. You can do that research. That is what alarmed my informants, and they said right now, all those ministers, they should know that Ferdinand Gongo is living inside their phones. Ferdinand Gongo, and a very reduced circle, is living inside the phones of these ministers of the Republic of Cameroon 24 hours on 24, 7 days on 7. They have access to everything that they do. And this is what is even more dangerous. The software that transmit messages that are encrypted from edge to edge, like WhatsApp and others, those messages, once they are decrypted, which means once you receive and you open, the messages become available to Pegasus. This is what it is. So which means that not even on any of those softwares are you protected. Not at all. So my informants let me know that a few people that have notified, what they are doing now, they are now scrambling to get family members, to get friends, to get very distant friends to buy phones, register them in their names and give them, and those are the devices that they are likely trusting to use. So the race for different kinds of approaches to communication will soon become very serious in La République du Cameroon. So trust no longer exists within that government. So that government now is like a kingdom that was like a pack of cats that is crashing under the flicks of a child. This is what we call the Chiroma effect. And this is disaster. Because what my informant tells me is that now even information that was not being sought after is now being received. They are now getting information of some of these members of government communicating with foreign governments, of some of these members of government planning one thing or the other, of some of these members of government who are already planning their flight locations in case things get rough and they want to escape. This is where they will go to. This is how they will move. Especially, in fact, the situation is really interesting. So if you are a member of government in La République du Cameroon right now, don't bother whether there's a roof over your head. You are living outside. Ferdinand Gongo and a reduced group of people now control your lives effectively. I don't know how you're able to run a system in this fashion. I don't know how you succeed in positioning yourself at that place where you invade the privacies of even those who are thinking that they are members of the same elitist core like you. So right now, if you thought you were hiding anything, no, you're hiding nothing. Wherever you're making transactions, sending money this way, calling people, displays this in that way, or not, Ferdinand Gongo has all that information. So everyone now in that country at the top brass, I'm talking this at this point, at this phase, it doesn't concern the ordinary man on the street. At this phase, the targets are top military officials, generals, colonel, lieutenant colonel, all those commanders who are commanding anything at all, and then members of government, be them minister delegate, secretary of state, secretary general, and some directors general are also involved in this particular network that is being carefully watched, because Etudi is convinced now more than ever before that Issa Chiroma, who left government just about 3 to 4 months ago, created a serious network of support within the government before leaving. Ferdinand Gongo finds it difficult to understand how Issa Chiroma Bakari, whose bank accounts have been checked over and over, a job that was assigned to Atanka Ponji, to check the bank accounts to possibly see where they needed to do some closures and everything, yet they could see him doing a lot of things with a lot of ease, with a lot of money. Where is this money coming from? How is he getting this money? How is he able to get sensitive security information even before the information reaches the people who are supposed to use that information to attain him? So the battle in Cameroon today is no longer just military oppressing people on the streets. So the battle in Cameroon today is no longer just the government looking for ways to capture and detain Issa Chiroma Bakari. So the battle in Cameroon today is no longer just the government struggling to see how to force itself on the people. It is the government wondering how it's going to survive in a situation where about 90% of the people around are no longer considered trustworthy. You have reason to lose sleep if at one moment or the other, as a member of government, you had criticized Paul Biya, you had criticized Ferdinand Gongo, you had talked about Ferdinand Gongo and his relationship with Chantal Biya, you have reason to be worried if at one moment or the other, you had openly expressed in text messages, in communication, be it on Signal, be it on Telegram, be it on WhatsApp, about how you think if this system crash, you will like it, but you are hanging inside there because you are like prisoner to it. This thing, this information, Ferdinand Gongo has all of it. I know that a lot of members of government will be wondering whether they need to change their bodyguards, because a lot of the bodyguards have also received information now, not just to be protecting the members of government from whoever outside there, but to make sure they are reporting the location of that member of government every day, every time, every minute. Who is coming in and who is going out of the member of government's residence or office. All of this information is being reported to Ferdinand Gongo minute by minute with a small think tank that has been created. The situation in Cameroon is dicey. If you are at the top, you have every reason to lose sleep right now. You might have been a loyalist, you might have been everything, but right now, no one knows who is who. As long as Issa Chiroma remains at large, as long as Issa Chiroma still has the possibility to continue to dish out guidelines, to dish out, strike orders to strike, orders to do this, orders to do that. As long as Issa Chiroma Bakari continues to unleash and implement his strategic plan of kicking Paul Biya and his gang out of government, there will be no sleep for anyone in the top brass of either the military or in the top ranking offices of the government of La République du Cameroun. This is a crazy situation, but crazy as it is, that is what is happening. So the name of this spyware and all this information was handed to me yesterday, but I needed to verify. Upon verification with 3 other sources that are closely related, very neat, that should be able to have access to this kind of information, if something like that were happening, I got clear-cut confirmation that there is already a lot of panic within the ranks, because especially among the military, especially those within the B who know where the commander of the B comes from, they know that it's going to be very, very complicated. So folks, I really desire to share this information, and I want to remind our people of the southern Cameroons. Sometimes I feel the urge just to let anything happen to you, because you have demonstrated very clearly that you don't care about what happens to us, the people, whom you claim you are elites of. But again, at times, I still tell myself, there could be that wee chance that somewhere along the line you come back to your senses and realize that the real fight you have to be fighting for is not for this evil national tribe of between 2,500 to 3,000 people that has taken an entire country hostage. So I was talking about this Pegasus, and I want to give you just a bit more details for those of you who may not have access to, research it, but you can research that. I gave the spelling. Pegasus is Pegasus. And so, like I said, once installed, Pegasus provides its operator with comprehensive surveillance capabilities, effectively turning the phone into a 24/7 monitoring device. So talk about data harvesting. It can extract text messages, emails, photos, videos, call logs, contacts, and browsing history. Did you hear that? And browsing history. It can extract all this. It does what I says. like what I say, it does real time memory, not a posteriori. No, even as you're typing and going, as you're communicating and going, yes. So it can monitor calls and messages in real time, even accesses content from end-to-end encrypted apps like WhatsApp and Signal after they have been decrypted on the device. So once you receive a message from WhatsApp or from Signal or from Telegram and you open it, this spyware gives access to the person monitoring you to all of those messages. And the activation of this spyware on your phone is remote. It's remote, meaning that you don't need to do anything to activate it. There's no action from your end to enable it to be activated. So the spyware can remotely activate the phone's microphone and camera to record conversations and surroundings. Did you hear that? Listen. The spyware can remotely activate the phone's microphone and camera to record conversations and surroundings. This is what I'm saying. You should know that. So location and timing, of course, it can track the user's location via GPS with very high accuracy. And credentialing theft, yes, it can log keystrokes and steal passwords and the login credentials for various accounts. So Pegasus requires zero click from you. You don't need to click on a link or that they send you a message and click on the link and then that's how it's installed. No. Pegasus is notorious for using zero click exploits, which means it can infect the device without any interaction from the user, such as clicking a malicious link. So that is how it comes. Now, I am not a technician on Pegasus. I can't get all the fine details. It is now up to you to go out there, research, get all the information and know how it functions. It is now up to you to know that perhaps beside tracking you through your bodyguards, beside tracking you by keeping devices in your homes or your offices that you don't know, besides doing all this and doing that, this is again how they get to you. So they can actually record you. Yes, video. They can actually get videos of you doing the kind of things that that you can imagine if the videos are sent out there will embarrass you. Without you knowing, you keep your phone, they turn the camera on, they turn the microphone on, and they record everything that you are saying. Oh yes, La République du Cameroon is getting very hilarious. La République du Cameroon is getting to be very interesting. This is the price you pay for not standing with the people who have been looking up to you. My dear people of Southern Cameroon, my dear people of Ambazonia, those of you who are still in the territory of La République du Cameroon, especially if you are still in the hinterlands of La République du Cameroon, please, at the least opportunity, start moving out of those distant places. You are still in the towns and cities of La République du Cameroon. You are trapped there right now, I know, because there's no movement. At the least opportunity, find your way back home. Home is the best place to be right now. Home is the best place to be right now. As the dinosaurs eat themselves up, run for your dear life. We have to remain strong. We have to remain determined. We have to remain focused until we get our freedom. This is very important for all of us. This kind of practices are practices that are simply horrible. No one should expect one person in a government to decide to arrogate to himself the right to simply have access into the private lives of all those who have the same rank like that person, just because of the vantage position where the person is standing. All the same, you bargained for it. So have fun with it. So if you were on this platform for the first time, make sure you go click not only the like button, but click the subscribe button, subscribe, and make sure you share the link very widely. And don't always forget to put to personalize the alerts so that anytime there's anything on this platform, you will be the first to know. Thank you for your very kind attention. I'll be back.